Hello everyone, I am Matt Trucker, or I am Strikernofear, and certain change happened in the game of Euro Truck Simulator 2. I bought myself some DLC out of it, so there's an extension of places where I can go, as well as I think some new paint jobs as well. Oh, I can't wait to see this. Anyway, so I don't know if they if they put me back. We're gonna find out if they're gonna put me back in the. Sorry, I just say. So let's see. I remember I stopped in a parking lot, but they probably changed it. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm back in the parking lot. Okay. There's a bus? Oh, for fuck's sake, man! Don't you hate it? You were able to tank that thing. Alright, so where should I go? I think I'm gonna go toward that place where there's a question mark. By the way, if you're seeing what's in yellow, that means I haven't visited the place. Oh god, I'm hoping they're gonna fix. Oh, come on! Let me pass. All the mirrors in the world, they don't help me shit. I should probably try to adjust those things. Nice and all. Also, you know that I have an American truck. Fuck. Fuck. I was a total dick. It's a hit and run. I should have seen the shadow. I've seen the shadow. I didn't react to it. Oh, that's an agency. That's where they do recruitment and shit. And it's closed. Fuck. Well, at least I know where to look. Alright. Next stop, Harrison. It's getting late, so I'm gonna sleep in. I'm gonna repair the damage that's been done to my car. Not car. Truck. I mean, truck! There, unfortunately. I didn't go to that place. That's good. let's see what I have. I got upgrade, service. Let's see. New jobs. Choose categories of upgrades. You know, this is my piss off right there. You buy the DLC, you still have to pay for them to be installed on your truck. God damn it! Piss me off, why don't you? What is that? I'm not following. Oh shit. Nah, forget it. Service, we're gonna repair some damage. So the cabin got some damage, unfortunately. Repair this. Yay. Alright. So we are leaving. Gonna find a place to sleep. Some adjustments. Cabin adjustments. We're gonna go for the mirrors. Adjust mirrors. So what could I do? Right. Turn it like this, just a bit. Okay. No. Twist that one around just a bit. Okay. Perfect. What about the left? Makes no sense, but the hell. It's the front. there we go. Hang on, I got a message. Some easy, dude. I'll play some tomorrow. Why do I have to capitalize the P, man? I'll play some tomorrow. Doing a recording. Okay, man, take it easy. All right. Why am I in pause? Oh. I definitely don't want to press that. Okay, go to sleep. And it's raining. All right, time to find ourselves a job. We're allowed to relax in a group lunch. Why? How? What? That's how it works. Ooh, shit. Oh my god, I'm transport. Holy shit, okay. Ah, thank God for video game logic. actually agree with that because you hear stories of people who died in the most painful ways. They had to agonize to a point that their brain could no longer take it, and they just went comatose. I mean, not just literally losing consciousness, but going comatose. There was no way that for them to tolerate. And the thing is, it's easy. Probably the first time, the morphine does its job. But eventually, the more you take, the more your body adapts, and the less effective the morphine becomes. You need to increase the dose every time. You need to increase the quantity every time. And there's money involved, of course. There's heavy costs to just keeping someone alive. And the thing is, it's not like the person who's suffering wants to stay alive. It's because the people around him, families, friends, who don't want to see him die yet, they feel it's not the time to say goodbye to him. They would rather him to stay alive longer. Which is fucking selfish, if you ask me. I mean, sure, I understand. It's a painful process. But you have to accept the fact the guy has no way of escaping it. Now, the problem is that there's an argument with the idea of morality, that it becomes like something that people is going to value, but basically it's desensitizing it and like do it on a regular basis. Here's the thing: someone is heavily suffering. Someone is heavily suffering, and they're in terminal situation, and there's no way to escape. There's no cure whatsoever in their situation that they're in. No operation in this fucking world would cause a backtrack. There are fucked. That's the proper term. There are fucked. There's only one outcome in this, and that's just dying. When then it happens, that's a different story. But some people prefer to have complete control over it. They wish to die in a way that is dignified, that it's not plunged in suffering. But there are people who do not understand it. And the reason why they don't understand it is because they're not fucking living it. And that's what pisses me off. These kinds of subjects. Look, there are people who are afraid that it becomes like people are going to use it to euthanize people and stuff like that. No! Look, it becomes other people's choice if the person doesn't have a consciousness to do it. But in the end, the only person who has the right to off himself to decide whether he dies is the one who's basically affected by it. You got the religion, of course, Catholics, Christians who get involved in this, believing that this sort of act is a sacrilegious considering it's it's really sad, and you wonder yourself, where the fuck did they jam so high up their ass, their head? I feel like there's a sort of greed form, because let's face the fact that if the medical profession, basically the medical world, operations, basically ask terminally lives because these guinea pig trying out various substances to see if it can create a different outcome. Like if there's possibility of saying, look, I understand you're trying to probably not that big at that time, but he fucking grew. And 1986 was the last time he ever voiced that character. And to see him back on these shoes was great. And while some people hate Michael Bay, there's one thing that we can be thankful of is that it brought Peter Cullen back to the spotlight, and it doing so. It kind of it's an NPC. In doing so, well, he went back basically behind the mic. He probably did some voice stuff or something. Price roles as Optimus Prime for cartoon shows. I think the real first time he actually reprised roles in an animated show was Optimus Prime. And not only this, but video game as well. Yeah. So video games, Transformers the movie, but video game basically movie, but he did like original games of Transformers and Cybertron. And that was great to see that guy back into the cabin of Optimus Prime. That was just great. Now, I will say this: I find that transformations, even though I'm still up for the classic transformations in the G1 series. And Transformers Devastation, just stand still and when you transform. It's like a fucking classic cartoon, man. Fucking joyous. But yeah. Fucking love it. But, you know. But I did love, like, the transformation, the complexity of it. And I fucking admire for that. It's the fact of animating all this stuff, animating all the entire transformation and shit. You have to be fucking patient for that. So I'm still giving kudos to the animators to be able to pull that off. But again, it tried to bring reality into what it's supposed to be a fictitious world, and it got lost in translation. And I feel like because of that, there was like a restriction of freedom of imaginations and think. That was good. And I feel like, you know, the Transformers franchise and the movie franchise can still survive if Michael Bay only directs the action sequence, not because I still like his action sequence, but it's not supposed to be like everywhere. So I think when it comes to Michael Bay, when it comes to action sequence, I would have it directed. But when it comes to storytelling, you know, character evolutions and stuff like that, I would hire another director. Two directors, two different genres. Yeah. Now I'm getting off track. Well, of course, I was talking about Ghostbusters. It's all about agendas. That's why I'm definitely not going to be looking at watching it because it doesn't feel honest. Like it feels this, it's trying to sell something when it should. When you're making a story, first and foremost, whatever agendas, whatever thought, you know, this is what pisses me off is that when people are making their stories and create characters these days, it has to represent a community, a group. When in fact, you should really don't give a shit about representation. When you make a character, you're not supposed to make it to represent anything. You want to make a character that fits well with the story, what you're trying to create. A character that you feel will understand, that feels good for the situation. Because here's the thing, when you're creating a world, and I'm talking about domestic history, like the stories of what you're making. When you make a world that works, it's supposed to be your world. It's not to be conformed for us. It's not supposed to make us feel good. We're supposed to be guests to that. And therefore, and I think during these eras, that's where it got lost. Because now these days, it's trying to make so much money, trying to sell as much as possible, and it's basically losing what it's trying to do. It feels fake, like there's no heart or soul. I feel like the intention was all for the sake of selling tickets, to try to make something that makes us feel okay about ourselves, or anything like that, encouraging us sometimes, giving something to a certain community. That's not how it fucking works. When you're making something, it cannot have any form of agenda. You have to make it has to be genuine. So that means, therefore, you cannot, by all means, make it for the sake of an agenda. populace. No. You are making something original. You're making something that you're hoping it will last long. And then you're hoping that people will like. That's it. We don't want a world that fits us. We want to see a new world. We want to see a type of world that we don't know if we're going to like it or not. It cannot feel like home. It must feel strange. Never been visited. In other words, it needs to be fucking original. But yeah. It needs to be fucking original. You cannot. Yeah, it's basically it, man. Man, what type of world do we live in? We have like PC culture, politically correct. You don't want to see you're a fucking misogynist. You're anti-women. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Anti-women? What? Dude! I feel like the whole movie's a fucking sellout and promoting an agenda that should never be. I'm fine with female Ghostbusters. But only if I feel like they're carrying what they're making. It's not a question of whether it's male or female. It's a question of if the person who does it actually is doing he's trying to make a real movie. Instead of trying to make a fucking message or something. Like, girls are the best thing in the world. We're more powerful than guys and shit. If you're making a movie to just prove that, you should be fired. Because that's not how you create a story. That is not how you create a world. To create a world, just to make something, just to make a point that really doesn't even mean one, then that's just sad. They fail compared to their ancestors. Feminists who do that today, I refuse to call them real feminists. They're feminazis. They're not seeking equal levels between male and female. They're seeking to be above one gender. I mean, look how they treat other females who are against their way of thinking. It's fucking ludicrous. And automatically, I mean, I seen Jake Rolfe talking about it. The guy was doing it in the most peaceful and calming way. He left nothing out. He left nothing out of why and the reason why he was doing it. Why he decided not to watch Ghostbusters. And people still said bad shit about it. Still said bad shit about him. Calling anti-women and shit like that. Dude, if the fucking movies suck, don't go there just for the sake of encouraging a type of mentality or a type of ideology. It sucks. It sucks. That's why movies, whether it's movie, video games, comic book, or anything like that, none of that shit should have any form of hidden agenda. Because you're destroying the work that's ever been made. Because think of the fact, I feel like probably the stories was genuine. It felt great. It felt like it had nothing hidden. But then people decided to start playing with the script and stuff like that and said, like, let's do this, let's do that, and shit like that. Then it just got lost. And the thing is, they're trying so hard. They're trying so hard to, like, to tell people that, you know, girls can be just as tough as male. But they're doing it in a way that's just, it's just like shooting yourself on the foot. You want to make a character that is, you want to make a character that's represent, that greatly represent, that is a great female role model. Well, here's the thing. Don't try to make a female role model just to fill an agenda. Be fucking original. Have nothing hidden behind it. And trust me, your movie is gonna be fine. The rest is just about having a great script, a great story. But if you have no hidden agenda whatsoever in there, if there's no reason, like, none of that shit, girl power shit, then trust me, your movie is gonna find a success, and trust it will never be a question of gender. It's because you create a great story and people are enthralled by it. And they have like a character, whether it's female or male, they can relate to. Or, more precisely, they fucking admire and find that badass. That's how you make a proper movie. Anyway, this is Euro Truck Simulator. Hope you guys enjoy. And I made a lot of cash today. Profit 7 day. Oh. Gonna try to get myself a new garage. Probably not hire some new employees. We'll see. Thanks for watching, guys.